Well, in our coffee call today, we are discussing one of the most rare business, but a lucrative business that most people have not given their attention. I speak to Mr. Alex Nkwanga, is the director in charge of Savannah Dogs. We'll be discussing quite a number of issues, particularly regarding the dog business in Uganda. Mr. Nkwanga, thank you for joining me.
Thank you too for inviting me here.
Okay.
Yeah.
First and foremost, we speak about a business that most Ugandans know. Where did you pick this idea to start up such a lucrative business like this?
Okay. Well, the idea started as a hobby right from childhood. I grew up with a love for dogs. And then in my vacations, I used to go to Nairobi. And I saw so many people with dogs and so many dog lovers. So I picked up the idea from that point, basically as a passion.
Okay.
And eventually, from a passion, it grew into a professional business.
Passion to profession. Is there a school where you went to and studied how to manage such a business?
I went to a school in South Africa, and then later I went to UK, one of the biggest schools called Riven International Dog School Academy.
Let's talk about cash now. How much did you begin with anyway?
Actually, I didn't begin with money. I began by visiting people who are having dogs and who are breeding. And then eventually, I started with one dog, which I imported from Nairobi. And then I started multiplying from that. I didn't begin with a basket of money that I want to start up this business. But I chose one nice dog that led me to where I am today.
You could give us an estimate of how much in terms of cash.
I remember it was about 600,000. That's about 20 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Approximately, as we talk right now, Mr. Nkwanga has so many dogs. Is there a professional word that you have for this kind of business?
In terms of referring to it,
Yes, in terms of
we call it dog breeding.
dog breeding.
Yeah.
Is it a business that most Ugandans have picked interest into, or you were the only person?
We used to be very few, but those are the days. So, and because of these education programs we go through, so many people have really picked up. Although in terms of professionalism, there are not so many. But in terms of breeding, there are many who are breeding dogs now, especially the backyard breeding, but not the real size breeding.
What does it take to raise such a business to where it is right now?
It takes a lot. The first one is patience. You must be patient, and then also you must be having the zeal, the love for the project that you are doing. Coupled with investment, you must be able to invest.
Okay.
And then you can be able to raise the business to where you want it to be.
Is it one type of breed, or we have a number of them in Uganda? Since this is your area, you could probably tell us the different types of breeds.
With me, I'm having about 13 breeds, but in Uganda there could be more than 13 breeds because the interests differ. Each breed has its own purpose. It's bred for a purpose. So different people are breeding and keeping dogs for different purposes. So that attracts a number of breeds in the country.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you could tell us maybe a breed and its purpose, a breed and its purpose, a breed and its purpose.
Basically, in Uganda, the biggest percentage of people want to have guard dogs, security dogs. And when you look at security, there are so many breeds in that category. We have the German Shepherds, which everyone knows. We have the Dobermans.
No, not everybody knows it.
Okay, German
I wouldn't
Shepherds
want us to assume.
mostly termed as the police dogs. The original police dog was a German Shepherd. So many people have that breed. But actually in that category, we have Dobermans, they also do well. We have Rottweilers, we have Bullbars, we shall be seeing them if we tour the farm. You'll be able to see various breeds. Then in another categories for home companion, because of the expatriate community, we have been attracted also to love dogs and keep dogs at home just for companion. So we have dogs like the small poodles, Maltese, Labrador, a number of dogs just for companion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you talked about, I don't know which type this could belong to.
This one is called Caucasian Shepherd or Caucasian Mountain Dog. It's a very big dog, as you can see, and it's very good for guarding. It's very strong, very big and very strong. It's good for guarding.
Talk to us what it takes to raise up such a huge dog like this, and plus the many other types.
Just like I said, what it takes to raise a good dog is you must be able to invest in it in terms of medical and proper feeding programs. But basically, the main thing is to look at the medical bit of it, vaccinations, deworming, and then the feeding comes into play. You must feed the dog on the right food. And such dogs need a lot of space for socialization, for exercising. So you need quite a number of things to have such.
Is this food locally made here in Uganda, or you probably get it from elsewhere?
We have food that is locally made in Uganda, but we also have imported food, and many people have preferred the imported food because either because of quality would be more in terms of quality. So we have both local and imported.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am sure there are many Ugandans out there who would want to invest in this. What is it that they should have at the back of their mind if they wanted to engage or invest in this kind of lucrative business?
First of all, such people would need to know the purpose for the dog. You may want a dog for guarding, and then you end up with a dog for companion. So they must know what exactly they want to do. If you want to breed dogs, you have to first know the purpose of what you want. When you identify the purpose, then you have to identify the breeds that follow in that category. And then at the end of that, you have to look for the right people who have the right breeds that you need.
Okay.
Because quite a number of times we end up with good ideas and you don't get the right breed that you want to have.
Okay.
So it is very important to do that.
Okay. Let's now widen our discussion to matters of security. How are you able to train these dogs so that they can have a number of detections, maybe on the security side,
Okay.
and maybe on the other side?
Okay, when it comes to training, the various breeds of dogs do different jobs in terms of security. When it comes to sniffing and tracking, there are particular breeds for that. As probably, if time allows, I'll do a small demo for you and see how we train the explosive detection dogs and the criminal tracking dogs. Then when it comes to guarding and patrol, there are also particular breeds for that. For example, this one cannot go for sniffing or tracking.
Why?
Because tracking is a big job. It needs a very fast dog that will do the job very fast and does not need this size of dog. This one would qualify for guarding and patrol.
Okay.
But the other jobs for security, there are particular breeds that qualify for that.
Okay.
In terms of training, they pick very fast, and in terms of work, they do the work very fast. Whereas you may take a year to train this one to be a sniffer, and it may take 1 hour or a whole day to show you what you are looking for.
Okay.
Then I have that type that within a second, it will show you what you are looking for
Okay.
because of their ability and the traits that are inbuilt in them.
Okay. I would personally want to invest in this business. I am afraid of the market. Where is the market for this business?
I think for you to invest well in this industry, you need to first have the interest. This is not something you go for, like for example, rearing cows, you're sure you'll get milk out of them. So you have to first of all have the interest, the passion for them. But the market is there, especially when you breed right, the market is there.
Where?
Locally and internationally.
Locally where?
Locally within Uganda. So many Ugandans love to have dogs for security, to guard their homes, properties, farms, mention it. And also we have the international community, the expatriate community growing every other day. The market is there. When you do the right thing, even the international market, you can tap from it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does this business pay tax anyway?
No, it doesn't.
Why?
According to the structures, I think it doesn't qualify for that. It hasn't qualified for that yet. It is not well structured to attract for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any challenges? Because I know every business has its own unique challenges. This must be another business that whose challenges are totally unique.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, there are quite a number of challenges, but of course they are manageable. Issues like maintenance, looking after these guys is not easy. They must eat well, and remember they don't eat beans, so
And even
they,
the price of meat is
yeah,
keeps on
yeah.
escalating.
Maintenance and upbringing is quite expensive. It also looks at the medical bit of it is also a challenge, and the other big challenge we have is the knowledge of the industry. You can breed right, but the people you are selling to the dogs may not know. They don't have enough knowledge on what they were looking for and what they're buying. So that's also a challenge.
Okay.
That's why you hear people saying maybe this breed is expensive, maybe I try this one. Then also the manpower is also a challenge, because to have this project you need a number of people. We have trainers, we have people in the kennel management. It's also a challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, I'm already afraid that before I leave this place, maybe I would be contaminated with diseases.
I
Is
was
this safe for
actually
you? Is this really safe?
That's why among the challenges I talked of medical. When you do it right, you are very safe. You will not have any problem, you won't have any disease. There's a routine program for medical in terms of vaccinations and deworming.
Okay.
When you do that right, then you'll enjoy a good time with your animal.
By the way, what's the cost of the vaccination?
The vaccination is they're about 35,000. It depends. Rabies is different, but about 35,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries helping you people in this kind of business?
Not at all.
Why?
Not at all. I think it comes back to the structure of the industry. I don't think they've moved out to see what people are doing with dogs. But what I know, they have been keen in terms of medicine management. I think there are some medicines that come in under their inspections, for example, like the vaccines and other animal medicine. I think in that area they are a bit useful in there. But in terms of direct management of the dogs, no.
So there's no way. Come again?
I think they've come in when it comes, for example, on the medicines that are imported, particularly for animals and dogs per se. But in terms of direct management, they haven't come in.
Okay.
Because in many places, even treatment is a problem. For example, up country, treating dogs is a challenge because many vets now treat cows and goats, but not dogs.
Okay.
So I think there's still a gap in that area.
So if I want to purchase these from you, how much probably must I have? How much is each dog anyway?
Yeah,
I want to buy a few and accommodate them at my home place.
It will depend on what breed you are buying, but on average, it's about 700,000.
Each one of them?
Each one, yeah.
That's too much, too little?
I think it's too little. From a breeder like me, it's too little, but we go with that. On average, 700,000. You can get something good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any recommendation that you think really government must come in to help this kind of industry?
I think the main recommendation I would have is in terms of treatment. People who are into animal farming, like myself, the biggest challenge we have is treatment. We have a very big challenge of treatment of particular diseases, especially the viral infections. And many times we lose animals on a daily basis. We lose cows, we lose goats, we lose dogs because of treatment.
Okay.
So I think that's the only area government can really come in and see how the local person can be helped in terms of treating the animals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, the coffee court today we discuss of course, one of these lucrative business that most Ugandans have not picked interest in. I would also again be more interested. Really, if I want to engage in this business, what is it that I should clearly pay attention to? Once again,
You need to look at investment. What is this you are going to invest? You need to look at which breeds you are interested in, and the breeds will guide you where to go. When you identify the breeds, then you need to know who are the right people that can supply me with the right breeds that I'm looking for.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the employment opportunity. I don't know how many people you employ to take care of such a business like this.
In the kennel, in the whole total of people we have 24 people working with the dog section. We coupled the composition is we have the treatment side, we have the training side, and then the maintenance side.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of the vaccine,
it.
how often do you vaccinate?
Vaccinations normally are done between 8 to 12 weeks. Then we do at 6 weeks. Then it becomes annually. It becomes annually. This guy needs to be off the chain.
Okay. The discussion on the coffee culture definitely continues. We must be winding up this discussion. What is it that you think we must leave the public with as we plan to sign out?
Basically, just to appeal to the public to pick up some of these ideas, to know where to find the good dogs when we make a decision to buy a dog, and also to know the purpose for the dog that you are buying. Because many times people buy dogs for different purposes and they end up with a different purpose.
Okay.
But the source where you're buying a dog is very, very important. Very, very important. It will determine the outcome of what you wish to have.
Thank you, Mr. Alex Nkwanga, for speaking to us on this coffee court where we've been discussing one of these other rare but lucrative business in Uganda. My name is Makubi Fred, and this is the Coffee Court.